Welcome back. This story is called Arnold. Obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger. When I lived in Los Angeles, I went to UCLA from 82 to 84. I was there for 2 years. At one time, I got a job working at a Haagen-Dazs ice cream store. There was a store in Westwood, which is where UCLA is. Very popular, very posh part of Los Angeles. The first day that I went to this ice cream store to fill out an application to apply for a job, the manager said to me, "Do you see that woman over there?" There was some woman who was there buying a cake, like a birthday cake, ice cream cake. He goes, "That's Ally McGraw." Ally McGraw. She was an actress like in the 70s. Oh, that's cool. You know, in LA, you see famous people eventually, every once in a while. So I got the job. I'm there working at the Haagen-Dazs, and I'm on break. Okay, I'm working with two other people, a guy and a girl, and I'm sitting at a table eating ice cream because that's what we did on break. They gave you ice cream. You could eat your ice cream on break. So I'm eating my ice cream, and Cher, Cher from Sonny and Cher comes in, and she's with three guys. One of them was really tall, had long hair, had a bandana around his head. He had a little bit of a beard. Really good-looking guy. Nobody that I recognized. I mean, he wasn't famous or anything. And she was obviously his date. She came in totally dressed down. She was wearing jeans, sneakers, white shirt, like a t-shirt, and a jean jacket. She wasn't dressed up. It wasn't like she was coming home from the Grammys or anything. They just stopped at Haagen-Dazs for ice cream. And they were the only people in the store. And the two other guys must have been her entourage. And these guys were just like hanging on. They one white guy, one black guy. But again, nobody that I recognized. So the four of them were kind of enjoying the whole space by themselves. And while she was there, she and this guy, the young guy, were making out, okay? She had her arms like this over the guy's neck, and they were just kissing like crazy the whole time they were in there. And I figured, well, if you're Cher, you might as well, right? The interesting thing about that moment was at that very same time, on that exact week that she was in the store making out with this guy, Cher was on the cover of People magazine that very same week. If I'd had a copy of the magazine, I would have given it to her, have her autographed. And on the front of the magazine, there was a quote from her. It said, quote, "I still love to kiss." That's what the quote said. "I still love to kiss." And as I sat there, because I seen the magazine in the supermarket, I'm like, well, she really does love to kiss, because here she is kissing this guy right in front of everyone. But that's not what the story about Arnold. The story about Arnold happened one night. I was in the Haagen-Dazs ice cream shop by myself. The owner of the shop was there. He owned 3 locations in Los Angeles. He was sitting at a table eating ice cream, doing his books. He had his ledger book out there. So he was doing his books. He was a real jerk. He was a real asshole. Arnold came in by himself. He pulled up in this white car. I could see it through the window. It wasn't a Corvette. It was something else. Maybe it could have been a Lamborghini. I'm not sure. But it was definitely a sports car right in front of the shop, 8 o'clock at night, whatever. He was the only person in the shop. He came in, and I saw him. This is the only time in my life that I saw Arnold. This was probably 82, 80, between 83 and 84. This man, his biceps were so big, I'm telling you, they looked like cantaloupes. I mean, that's how big they were. This is way before he was governor. This is back when he was Conan the Barbarian, when he was still, a bodybuilder. I couldn't believe it, how big his biceps were. And he ordered, I'll tell you what he ordered, rum raisin. That was the name of the flavor, rum raisin. And when somebody orders ice cream at Haagen-Dazs, you're supposed to say, do you want a cup or a cone? And 90% of the people want cups. Nobody wants a cone because those are for kids. So instead of asking him that, because I was completely flustered, I started putting it into a cup automatically. And he goes, no, I want a cone. He wanted a cone. I'm sorry, I should have asked first. So I gave him a cone, and I handed him the cone. Well, he put that cone in his hand. His hand was so big that you could not see the bottom of the ice cream cone. You couldn't see it. It was all in his hand. So he's eating his ice cream, and sure enough, the boss, the guy that owned the place, had to say something. I knew he was going to say something. So I could barely hear him because he talked really low. He got up, he started talking to Arnold, and I could hear him saying something about a party that took place like 4 years ago where he had been introduced to Arnold. He was like asking, do you remember meeting me at this party? And Arnold was very gracious to the guy and said, yes, I remember the party, I remember you, and so on. And then he left. And that was the story of Arnold. Don't forget to read my book, Broccoli Time by Dante Allen, available now on Amazon Books.